The rules for landlords in the UK are changing. The Renters Reform Bill introduces some of the biggest changes to the private rental sector in years. And depending on how you manage your property, these changes could significantly affect how you operate as a landlord. In this video, I'll break down what's actually changing and what it means in practice. The Renters Reform Bill is designed to change how renting works in the UK. It aims to give tenants more security while changing how landlords manage tenancies. On paper, they sound straightforward. But in practice, it changes some of the fundamentals on how buy-to-let operates. One of the biggest changes is the removal of Section 21. This currently allows landlords to regain possession of a property without needing to give a specific reason. Removing it changes the balance of control. Going forward, landlords will need to rely on defined legal grounds to regain possession. This doesn't mean landlords lose control completely, but it does mean the process becomes more structured. Regaining possession may take longer and require clearer justification. That changes how landlords think about tenant selection and risk. Another change is the move toward more flexible tenancy arrangements. Fixed-term tenancies may become less central. Tenants will have more flexibility to leave and potentially more security to stay. This shifts the dynamic between landlord and tenant. The way rent increases are handled is also changing. There may be tighter rules around how and when rents can be increased. This reduces flexibility for landlords to adjust quickly to market conditions, and that affects long-term financial planning. The bill also introduces stronger expectations around property standards. Landlords may be required to meet clearer conditions regarding property quality. This increases the importance of ongoing maintenance and compliance. For some landlords, this will mean additional investment. When you combine these changes, the overall cost of operating as a landlord can increase, not just financially, but also in terms of time and management. Compliance becomes more important, and margins may become tighter for some properties. The biggest shift is on how risk is managed. With less flexibility in regaining possession, tenant selection becomes even more important. Landlords may become more cautious, and that can change how the market behaves overall. There's also a wider effect. Some landlords may choose to exit the market. Others may adjust their strategy. This can affect supply, which in turn will affect rents. Over time, the rental market will adapt. These changes don't remove buy-to-let, but they do change how it works. The key is understanding how to operate within the framework. A common mistake is reacting emotionally to policy changes, but in reality, property investment has always evolved. The important thing is adapting and not to overreact. Strong landlords will adjust. They will focus on better tenants, better properties, and stronger compliance, and they will build resilience into their deals. The key questions now are: is the property still financially resilient? Can you manage the additional requirements? And does the long-term investment still align with your long-term plan? The Renters Reform Bill doesn't end buy-to-let, but it raises the standard of how it needs to be done, and that changes the way landlords will approach the market. Understanding these changes early puts you in a stronger position, because in property, adapting to change is part of the process. This is The Practical Landlord.